one thing Gary Bettman should be praised for, but won't, in your opinion?
Gary Bettman should be praised for a lot.
Yes.
Listen, Gary Bettman came in the same time I did. Let me tell you my cultural stuff here, okay? The league, the pathology of the league is Canadian pathology. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that all the language we hear, when you have 31 of the 32 GMs North America, okay? When you have 2/3 of the league North American, most of those Canadian, right? When you have the GMs, most of which really, when you have that Canadian mentality, what do you hear? You hear things like play the game the right way. What does that mean? It means Canadian GMs were third and fourth line pluggers. They weren't skilled. So what do they like? They like the third and fourth line game. They like the grit and grind game. They don't like skill at all.
They love the red line.
These shootouts. Oh, no. That's not. You shouldn't be deciding a game with a shootout. Why not? Right? It's skill. Last time I looked, they hand a guy a ball at a free throw line with a stop clock and nobody blocks it. That's a skills competition. Last time I checked, they bring a guy out at the end of a football game. They have somebody put a ball on his finger and he kicks it between two orange posts. That's a skills competition. Sports is skills. Okay.
Yes.
Broadcasters, the messengers, almost all the analysts are Canadian. So they're going to keep repeating the same pathology. Why does Canada hate Gary Bettman? They do. They hate Gary Bettman because all the teams are now in the United States. Nobody's won a cup in a very long time. And whenever there's misery in Canada, they blame Gary Bettman. And they blame him in such a way that they tell everybody in one way or another that they should blame Gary Bettman. So that all seeps in, and fans in the United States see it, and they see him booed, and they go, we got to boo Gary Bettman because he's a bad guy. Guess what? Stars are in Texas because of Gary Bettman. Vegas has a team because of Gary Bettman. The footprint has expanded in the United States because of Gary Bettman. Salaries have gone from the top salary was $350,000 when I came into the NHL, right? And I was making $22,000, right? Now top player salary is $12 million, right? And the top broadcaster salary is at least $35,000. So or something. I don't know what they're paying the kids anymore, but
I don't know either.
Bettman, and the credit Bettman should get is anytime that you try and pass something through, right? That's trying to open the game up. The GMs and coaches shut it down so hard. When you have a meeting with those old knuckle draggers, you can't get shit done, right? So for Gary to get anything past those GMs, here, you can have a hand pass in your own zone to defend, but you can't have one in the forward zone to attack. Why not? Why not? Because that's not a hockey play, according to those old GMs. What would the NFL do with a rule like that? They'd let you have the hand pass in the offensive zone and not in the defensive zone.
Yeah.
You understand? So Bettman tries to introduce legislation. Why can't you tap a puck out of the air with a high stick? You know why? Because third and fourth line grinders can't do that.
No.
It's not in their bag of tricks. So GMs think that's not a play in a game that should be made. Anyway, so I'd say Gary Bettman deserves a ton of credit. Now, I don't like a lot of the things he does. He's too defensive. He hasn't found the right TV deal yet in the United States and all that. And there's a lot of things I don't like about Gary Bettman.
Yeah.
But to say that we should unilaterally boo this guy, this league was in the dark ages when he came in. And I was there.
Oh, yeah.
Read about John Ziegler and Alan Eagleson and all the things that were happening back in the day. This league was run worse than men's beer softball leagues. I'm serious. And today you've got something competitive. Now they need some growth and they need some things, and it's not perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I give Gary a lot of credit.